Hey guys, the Sony WF-C500 is one of the most affordable Sony earbuds. They retail for $99 and of course these are targeted at folks who may not have the budget for something like the flagship WF-1000XM4, but they still trust the Sony brand when it comes to all things audio, so are willing to forgo features like active noise cancelling, transparency mode, and all these other premium features. If you want me to compare them to the Sony WF-1000XM4 or any other product, let me know in the comments, and of course, get subscribed and click the bell button so that you don't miss out on new videos from this channel. For today, we're going to look at the C500 in terms of these 5 areas, and I'm going to benchmark them against a product with somewhat comparable features, the Jabra Elite 3. The first thing that stands out about these earbuds is its case. It's got a translucent cover so that you know if the earbuds are inside and charging. The case is also pretty compact, though it isn't the most portable case at this price. For example, the Elite 3's case is a bit more compact, so it's gonna be easier to slip into your pocket. The earbuds feel very ergonomic and form-fitting. When I was wearing them, they were pretty easy to lock into place even without stability fins, and they also felt very snug. Definitely something I can do some light workouts with, like running, jumping jacks, crunches. The Elite 3s are also pretty snug, but they don't lock into place as tightly, at least for my ears. In terms of specs and features, the C500 supports Bluetooth 5, streaming audio over AAC and SBC codecs, big buttons with volume controls like the Jabras, more on that later, and it's got up to 10 hours of battery in the earbuds and up to 10 hours in the case, total of 20 hours. Though that isn't as much as the Jabra's max battery life of 28 hours, the Sonys can endure far longer without charging because the Jabras only last up to 7 hours per charge in the earbuds, which, yes, is pretty long, but not as long as the Sony's 10 hours. What is a clear advantage the Jabras have over the Sonys is water resistance. The C500s have an IPX4 rating while the Elite 3s have an IP55 water and dust resistance rating. So it's a little more durable against sweat and moisture than the Sonys, but to be honest, IPX4 is actually more than enough resistance for light workouts at the gym or running. The C500s also lack a transparency mode. That is something the Jabras have, which by pressing a button allows you to hear outside of the earbuds using the Jabras microphones. The C500s have app support from the Sony Headphones Connect app. Granted, as it is the base model, it doesn't have many of the advanced features the top tier Sony earbuds have, but it's got all the basics covered like sound customization using EQ presets or a graphic equalizer, firmware updates. It's even got DSEE, which is a sound enhancement feature that patches some of the missing bits of data that was lost during Bluetooth transmission for better sound quality. The Elite 3's Jabra Sound Plus app is quite close in terms of the level of customization, so there is no big advantage here that one has over the other, even after considering DSEE, because when I turn on DSEE, yes, I could pick up some improvements in sound, as in the C500's treble sounds a bit cleaner and better separated, but beyond that, there wasn't a significant difference. Not as much difference as how the more advanced DSE Extreme enhances the sound of Sony's best earbuds, the WF-1000XM4. In terms of sound quality, they are pretty comparable in terms of clarity, staging, and track separation. Of course, assuming that both of them are in flat settings, but the Sonys do lean a bit more into the mid-range. So if you're listening to vocals music, vocals sound a bit sharper and more prominent on the Sonys. The Jabras lean a bit more into upper bass, so there's a bit more gravity in your music, but in terms of bass extension and punch, there wasn't much of a difference there. However, they both do have an audible noise floor too, which is quite a common thing among earbuds of this price range. So when you start listening to music, there will be this very faint background hiss which stops after about 5 seconds after you pause the music. It's a very faint hiss that doesn't really bother me personally, but if you're used to how premium earbuds sound, it's something you're gonna notice very quickly at first. Now we're going to test its microphone pickup in both a quiet and noisy environment, which is going to be a good indicator of its call quality. As usual, I'm going to play some really loud cafe-style background noise to simulate making a phone call in a noisy environment. This is the Sony WF-C500's microphone pickup in a quiet place. Background noise. This is the Sony WF-C500's microphone pickup in a noisy place. This is the Jabra Elite 3's microphone pickup in a quiet place. Background noise. This is the Jabra Elite 3's microphone pickup in a noisy environment. So it appears that when you're making calls in quiet places, the Jabras had my voice sounding a bit more natural, and in noisy places, the Jabras did a better job of reducing background noise. However, if you're often making calls in quiet places anyway, be it in your office or the study, the Sonys are still gonna sound pretty decent to whoever's on the line with you. Now we're going to look at how much Bluetooth audio lag they've got when playing games and watching videos on both Apple and Android devices. The Apple device that I'm going to use is the iPhone SE 2020. For Android, I'm going to use the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. First, the gaming audio lag test. As a reference point, let's see what the internal latency looks like on the iPhone SE. This is audio straight from the iPhone speaker. Now the C500, then the Elite 3. Then repeat the same test on the S21 Ultra. So the C500s do have a little more lag than the Elite 3s on both iOS and Android devices. However, the difference is so small that without slow motion, it's really hard to tell the difference. But please note that this lag that you're seeing only applies to playing games and not for watching videos on your phone using apps like YouTube or Netflix, because these apps cancels latency by automatically delaying the video so that it syncs up better with the audio, like this. Hey guys, one of the biggest problems with most truly wireless earbuds is getting decent call quality out of them, especially in noisy places. I mean, without a microphone in front of your mouth to pick up your voice. Hey guys, one of the biggest problems with most truly wireless earbuds is getting decent call quality out of them, especially in noisy places. I mean, without a microphone in front of your mouth to pick up. So who do I think the C500s are for? Well, these are Sony's most affordable earbuds, and the pricing reflects exactly that. There are things I like about it, well, to be specific, 6 things. For example, it's pretty decent in terms of features and performance. There's that possibility of it getting better eventually with firmware updates because of that app support. Sound quality is very good for that price. It's rich and dynamic. I like its customizability, and I do prefer its fit compared to the Jabras. Those button controls too, they're pretty big and clicky, and I like that. Some people may prefer touch controls, but I do agree that buttons are less likely to cause you to activate anything by accident. In short, there's just so much to like about these earbuds, but there are also things that can be better. For example, that noise floor I talked about earlier, it's also got a lack of transparency mode, which isn't such a big deal since these don't have noise cancelling, but it's something that's nice to have. I also want its case to be smaller if it's possible. Not that it's big to begin with, but rather it's because there are so many earbuds at this range that feature smaller cases with bigger batteries. So why not make these ones more compact than they already are? If not, then why couldn't they have put a bigger battery inside? Would have been more impressive if these had 10 hours in the buds and 20 in the case. I mean, yes, for somebody who's got $100 to spare, there are many reasons to buy the C500, but this is also a very crowded market. And at this price, there are so many alternatives aside from the Elite 3 that's competing for our attention, trying to squeeze in as many features as possible for less money. And to be honest, that doesn't seem to be what Sony's going for with the C500s. So if you're considering the C500s, the deciding factor shouldn't be because it's got X number of features for the price, but because you prefer its sound signature and it is doing the basic things pretty well, such as its fit and performance. Thanks for watching. If you want me to compare the C500s to other earbuds, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like and share. And if you want to see more content like this one from this channel, hit subscribe and tap the bell button to stay notified of new content from me. Also, a big shout out to these legends who support this channel by contributing $1 or more per month through the crowdfunding website Patreon. If you want to be a legend too, it's very simple. All you gotta do is to support my work on Patreon. That is a great way to help keep this show going, and you gain some pretty cool rewards too, like being credited at the end of every video. So link is in the box down below if you want our support. I've also got the Discord server. Do join if you want to hang out. More videos coming up soon, so don't go away.